What's up, my guys? Welcome to episode 26 of the My Guys Magic Podcast. My name is Joe. I'm here with my brother Pete. Say what's up.
My guys, what's up?
So, this week we're going to be talking about the spoiler
Oh,
episode.
yes, it's just Secrets of Strixhaven. So, my guys, can't believe it's episode 26. That's crazy. Been doing this half a year now.
A little
Nuts.
more, yeah. Because we took 2 weeks off for the holidays.
Oh, yeah, the holidays. Um, so, this week, we're going to touch on some upcoming events. And then we're going to dive right into Secrets of Strixhaven. And each of us have our top five cards, what we think will have an impact in standard, impact in modern, and if we have time, touch on, how we think modern's shaping up with the RCQ season underway. So, yeah, so upcoming events, um, as I've said for the past couple weeks, weekend of May 1st, we have MagicCon Vegas. It's the Pro Tour. Weekend of May 15th, RC Cincinnati. Also Standard. And the weekend of May 29th, RC DC, which will also be Standard. So you and I got to start diving back into Standard, Joe. You ready for that?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah, what are you thinking of playing?
For standard, man, it's we have a lot of extremely powerful cards to evaluate with this set. I think there's going to be potentially a big shakeup. Um, I think blue white. I don't know. A lot of these blue white cards have been calling to me from this set, as we'll talk about in the episode. Um, yeah, but
Uh,
I couldn't be sure to tell you right at this point. So we'll see.
yeah, yeah, that's what I was looking. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I don't know what new archetypes are going to come out of this. And the top couple decks may get a couple cards. Doesn't look like much will change in those ones, but more will be revealed. So with
hmm
that, let's just jump into our top five. We'll go. You'll do your number one, and I'll do my number one. That sound good?
Yeah. So we're gonna do like reverse, right? So we're gonna talk about like our number five, quote unquote, as like, and then what our most popular card is last, or do you want to start?
No, no. Yeah, let's start at the bottom. What do you got for? Do you got a six? Because I have a
Yeah,
six or
I
honorable
have.
mention.
Yeah, I have quite a few cards. Yeah, I think Vicious Rivalry would be my number six, which Vicious Rivalry is. Sorry, just trying to scroll to it for the video. Oh, these are all the alternate arts. My bad. Went way too far.
Yeah,
Dude, so
two
many
black
different
and a
cards.
green. Two
Yeah,
black and a green.
sorcery, destroy all artifacts and creatures with mana value X or less, and has an additional cost to cast this spell. Pay X life. So drawback that it could be countered and you still lose a life, but yeah, it seems good, and obviously it seems good in green and black with this extremely powerful planeswalker coming in with this set that I know we're going to talk about. So I think
Yeah,
pretty powerful like Wrath of God effect. So yeah, we'll
yeah.
see.
I like that card a lot too. I'm thinking about just like a green black demons deck, right?
Yeah, for sure. What's your number six?
I would go with Ancestral Anger reprint. When I saw
Yeah.
that, I was like, wait, they reprinted Ancestral Anger. So Leyline might be back on the menu.
Yeah, so let's remind folks what Ancestral Anger does.
Ancestral Anger is one red sorcery. Target creature gains trample and gets plus X plus 0 until end of turn, where X is 1 plus the number of cards named Ancestral Anger in your graveyard. Draw a card.
Solid, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I think Foundations had the one that gives a creature trample when you draw a card, but this is just better, right? So
Yes, this was played in the Pioneer Rakdos Leyline deck. So
yeah,
now we have it in standard. So I'm excited to see if those guys
what
that
it
did well at
does
the spotlights try and bring that deck back.
for sure.
Who's that?
I think it might
Our
be enough to
fellow Floridian Nick Odenheimer.
yeah. Good old Nick. Haven't seen Nick in so long, ever since we kind of changed the RCQ setup where we do, three per store. Just hasn't been as much reason to travel. And it couldn't have come at a better time, quite honestly, just like how busy I've gotten with work and the kids. But yeah, I haven't seen him in so long. So
All right, so
so I'll do my number five now.
yeah, what do you got there?
Um, I have Petrified Hamlet, which is a land. It's basically a pithing needle stapled to a land. So I'll read it. It's yeah, Petrified Hamlet land. When this land enters, choose a land card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. Lands with the chosen name have tap, add a colorless. And then this land is just a colorless land. So I just think it has, it can shut off, you know, Urza lands. It can um, stop a lot of different things. It can shut off Titans, the shifting woodland. It's just it has some interesting abilities, but we'll see how relevant it is in standard. I don't think it's super relevant in standard. Maybe like it shuts off like a Mistrise village, but I don't know. I don't really think it's that relevant. Like decks, I think decks that would want to play it don't really care if Mistrise village is on. I think Field of Ruin is probably better in standard, but yeah. Anything else jump out at you about that?
Yeah, maybe it shuts off all the man lands, so it shuts off the card from Excruciator.
Oh yeah,
What? I can blank
Reef.
and I play the deck.
Yeah, Restless Reef.
Yeah,
It's funny we don't play standard for 2 months and we forget what all the cards do.
yeah. So it shuts off Manland, Soulstone Sanctuary. Um, you can name one of the fetches against mono green, right? Shuts off what's the one that gives a creature unblockable, and they try and like harmonize or combo you or something, right?
It's what is it? It's is it
Escape, not escape
Escape
tunnel, right?
Tunnel?
Is
Yeah,
it
it is Escape Tunnel. Yeah,
right? So it has some spots in standard too.
yeah,
Shutting off fetches, right? In modern.
yeah, yeah. I think Titan plays one of these just because, but we'll see. What's your number five?
My number five would be Traumatic Critique, which is X, blue and a red for an instant. Traumatic Critique deals X damage to any target. Draw two cards, then discard a card. So, at its floor, it's blue and a red, draw two, discard, right?
Yeah, at instant speed.
Right, which is decent on its own. And then it just scales with the game. And
Yeah,
I
like you can
love
start killing
the fact,
stuff.
well, and then any target I can go face to close the game, right? I definitely think this will see play. I don't know.
Okay.
Because, it might make Is It playable in standard.
Yeah, I mean, do you think Jeskai Control would want something like this as like a one of or something?
I could definitely see that.
Yeah, something to think about.
I don't know
Okay,
if,
so
I don't, would Prowess play this?
I think it's too expensive personally for
Two
for
mana?
prowess. Well, I mean, to get the value for it that you would want. You know what I mean? I
Yeah, you're
I
probably
think
right.
I'm not sure, but I don't think it's what. Yeah.
Would you play it in Is It Elementals? It definitely Spell Elementals would probably play it. No?
Yeah, I mean, I I think you could get some use out of the Ashling.
Yeah.
I think that this card kind of could replace like one of your Winter Night stories or maybe one of your um, ill-timed explosions.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I think
in,
it's worth toying around with.
in Spelementals, it represents two instants or sorceries in the yard, so that could be good.
Oh, because you draw a discard. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I could see it. I could see it being considered for spell elementals for sure. And then my next one, I guess, is Daydream. My number 4. So Daydream is 1 white for sorcery where you blink a creature. It's an uncommon. Exile target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Then it has flashback for 2 and a white, so 3 total. Um, I think that this card might be what is needed to push over like a. I know people were playing like blue white scam with Quantum Riddler
Splash
and
Portal.
in Splash Portal, and I think that Daydream, in addition to some of the new Emeritus cards, Emeritus, I'm probably pronouncing that so wrong, is what was needed to tie that all together. So, well, we'll see. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, that
Um,
that stood out to me as well. We have eight 1 mana blink effects for the Riddler scam decks.
right. Yeah, and I think. I mean, what else are we trying to scam other than Riddler? I mean, not. I guess nothing else, right?
I mean, what we were talking earlier, right? You can reset Emeritus of ideation.
Yeah, and it's good with the white one, right? Because you can reset
Yep.
Emeritus of Truce, right? Which so you can give yourself 1/1 or give them a 1/1 and swords their most powerful guy or gal. But yeah, I think there's a lot to consider there. Um, we just kind of got to see how these play out. I think we should talk about these cycles too when we get to the end.
Absolutely. All right, so we'll jump in my number 4. I have Professor Delian Fell that Joe mentioned earlier. 2 black and a green legendary planeswalker. Comes in with 5 loyalty, and he has a +2, gain 3 life, a 0, you draw a card and lose 1 life, -3, destroy target creature, -6, you get an emblem with whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. So I think this is a pretty powerful planeswalker, right? And you pair this with the new Golgari board wipe. It's just really easy to get the emblem. He comes down, he protects himself. The 0 is great also, right? So I think, yeah, Golgari's back on the menu.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is pretty comparable to Ob Nixilis Reignited, which is 3 and 2 black. Um, Same amount of starting loyalty, and it has similar uh, abilities. It's, -3 destroy a creature is the same. Ob Nixilis Reignited ticks up whenever you draw a card and lose a life. Um, but its emblem is, I don't think, quite as good, and it's a little bit. Ob Nixilis's emblem is a little bit more expensive, so I just think this card is very good for a 4 mana planeswalker.
Right.
Um,
Turn 4, you play him. Empty boards, you just plus. Next turn, you get the emblem. He's
right.
still around. So I think that's pretty good. I could
Yeah,
see.
and then you're lightning helixing your opponent every turn, or you're just doing all kinds of wacky stuff. I think, yeah, if you can, and I mean, and if you wanted to play this in like a Llanowar Elves deck or a Badger Mole Cub deck, casting this on turn 3 is insane. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I believe you're definitely playing Land War Elves in the Golgari deck, so you can get all your
yeah,
powerful stuff sooner, right?
yeah, yeah, like a turn 3 Unholy, or turn 2 Unholy Annex, or a, just whatever, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what people come up with this.
Yeah, we'll maybe talk about that when we get to like the most impactful card for standard and modern, and talk about what we think of the deck list, because I think this is going to be a kind of like a new archetype in my opinion, but
Probably,
just because of these powerful black and green cards. Yeah.
yeah, because that emblem, that ability is just powerful, right? It's like every card with that ability is expensive for a reason.
With which ability?
Whenever you gain life, opponent loses that much life.
Yeah. So then my number 3 is Mana Sculpt. Mana Sculpt is 2 blue and 1 colorless, instant, counter target spell, and then if you control a wizard, add an amount of colorless mana equal to the amount of mana spent to cast that spell at the beginning of your next main phase. So it's mana drain for 1 additional colorless, and it has the stipulation of you having to control a wizard. Um, I think I want this card to be good. I'm not sure that it's gonna get it done. I think it's possible, but what's the what's the otter card that is 2 mana, and when ETBs you look at the top 4?
Thundertrap Trainer,
Is that a wizard? It is a
believe so.
wizard.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is a wizard.
yeah. So we
So
have
yeah, I think maybe there's a world, but we were talking about Thundertrap Trainer, and we were talking about Fur Core potentially as ways to enable it. I just don't know if that's good enough. And then you could do a like Fur Core with Mana Sculpt, and then you could cast Ugin early, like as early as turn 5. And Ugin is still probably just like the pound for pound most powerful card in standard, without having any kind of like build around with it. I don't know. Is it? Wouldn't you think so? It's close anyway. But
yeah.
what do you think
I,
about this one?
I think it might be too conditional,
Yeah,
right?
I do too.
But
Yeah,
like we were talking about, Furdock Core is cute, right? We got
yeah,
it's a wizard, right? But it's still three mana counter spell. It's just
yeah.
cancel with potential upside, right?
Right.
So I don't know. And then what do I want to use that mana on? Like math magics maybe?
Oh, and I mean, we talked about that. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would rather just be trying to do the Ugin thing, but Mathemagics I think is kind of cute. I think that there's some way to mill your opponent out, banking a bunch of mana. I could see the Nature's Rhythm deck trying to play like one of these and do something crazy with it, but I don't know. Maybe that's silly. That's
Oh,
probably
like
silly.
Simic Cub deck, make 30 mana.
Yeah,
Just make you draw your whole deck.
because sometimes they do have like a ton of
Yeah,
mana.
yeah,
Oh, I'm doing math. Hold on. So yeah, you only need 14 mana to mill someone out,
yeah. They can do that
and
on turn. They can do that on turn 4
that's
or
what that's
3
what I'm
or 3.
saying. Like, do they have enough mana to do that on turn 3?
Probably turn
Don't.
4.
If you go like Elf Cub Cub,
Yeah,
so then you have
9. You have like 13, right?
Getting pretty close, dude.
You have 13 mana on turn 3.
That's pretty close. Hmm.
No, 12. 12 mana on turn.
Maybe it is what you want to be doing. Like you're not even trying to nature's rhythm people anymore. You're just trying to math magic them. I don't know.
Someone's gonna try it.
Because like 4 mana draw 2, that's a pretty reasonable floor. 6 mana draw 4 when you're producing all this extra mana in like a green blue deck. Dude, there's a lot going on with this set. My head's spinning. I thought about it enough. It doesn't feel like I did.
Nope. There's
Yeah,
a lot. There's a lot.
there's a lot. Okay,
All
have to
right.
look
So
at
next,
that.
I have my number 3 is Scheming Silver Tongue. One
Okay.
in a black for a 1/3 with flying and lifelink. And at the beginning of your second main phase, if you gain 2 or more life this turn, this creature becomes prepared. And its prepared spell is Sign in Blood. Black, black, sorcery. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life.
Yeah, I think.
So I think that's pretty good. There's tons of ways to even just give this a counter. So you're gaining 2 life when this connects, right? Plus,
Yeah.
there's
How would you give it a counter?
map tokens,
Hmm.
right?
Oh, that could
Definitely,
be pretty. This could be pretty good in Demir mid, right?
yeah.
With the
Yeah,
tokens.
yeah, and you still got bats.
Oh, right.
So,
Is this better than Flood Pitch Drowner
I- that's
in
a tough
Demir
one.
mid specifically?
I don't think
Man,
so.
it's really. I think it's gotta be pretty close, right? Like,
No, I think the flood pits is because has flash, tap down their thing, Kaido next turn, right? I
yeah.
think that line is better than anything this is doing.
I don't know. I think you're right. I think this card's pretty solid, but I, yeah, it's gonna take some eval.
Yeah, yeah, maybe Mike will definitely play it in his black white life gain deck.
Yeah.
I mean, can definitely see that as something playable, can win some stuff, right? Without
Hmm.
there's no screaming nemesis anymore, so
For sure. Yeah. So my next one is Erode. 1 white, instant. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. So it's what were we saying? This was something to exile.
yeah, yeah. Somebody made a meme and called it path to the graveyard.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, patch of the graveyard, but it hits a planeswalker too. Like
Yeah,
that's that's pretty powerful. I mean, from the context of modern, what decks are really playing planeswalkers? I guess it's really just like blue, white, and Jeskai control, right? Is there anything else? I
no, you
guess
got
I guess you have a Johnny.
a Johnny. Storm has Ral, but
Hmm.
once they flip
Yeah,
it, it's over.
it's usually dead.
So, um, there's one of Kaido in the blue black decks. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
relevant.
So maybe not super
Oh,
good in modern, but I think in standard this card is very good, right? Like,
yeah,
um,
better than Get
obviously,
Lost.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah. I
it's an
think it's way better than Get Lost, if you
yeah, I
ask
agree.
me.
It's an upgrade.
I don't know, maybe not way better, but definitely better. Just because Get Lost can sometimes be, you know, your opponent pays 2 mana and draws 2 lands, right? They may not put them into play. You're ramping them, but I think this card is better than Get Lost. Get Lost hits enchantments, which has relevance in the current standard meta with lessens, being able to target their artist talent. So I don't know. But I think in a vacuum, this card is better than Get Lost.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
And then my number one, we'll kind of just rotate back and forth. I have
Oh
Flow
wait,
State.
wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
We skipped our
Oh, we skip.
my my number two here.
Oh, my bad, dude. My bad.
I have Ral Zarek, guest
Okay.
lecturer for one black, 1 and 2 black. So 3 mana planeswalker comes with 3 loyalty. Uh, so they color shifted our boy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mono black Ral, and yeah, I guess we'll be seeing more of that in Fractured Reality, right? I think at the end in the story and the end of lore when Liliana was white. So we'll see what comes. We'll see what comes all that. So he has a +1 Surveil 2, -1 any number of target players discard a card, -2 return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And his -7 is flip 5 coins. Target opponent skips their next X turns, where X is the number of coins that came up heads. So that's reminiscent of the original Ral Zarek Planeswalker, right?
With the
Was it
turns.
flip 5 coins, take X extra turns, right?
Right.
So I like this guy +1 Surveil 2, but what I really like is hopefully sometime on turn 1 or 2, I've got an Oculus in the graveyard. So then turn 3, he immediately comes down, brings the Oculus back, and he's still around, right?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy if you do that. I think
The
that is the
ceiling.
ceiling
Yeah,
for this guy. I think that the floor of this card is lower than Liliana. I thought Liliana, we just had her in standard not long ago, and she wasn't really seeing play, right? So I'm personally not sold on it, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong. What's the pre-sale on this one? Let's
probably way
see.
too much.
Yeah, let's see TCG and see what it is.
But yeah, I don't think he would slot into anything existing. It would have to be a new, some kind of blue-black reanimator type deal.
Mm-hmm. You might be able to play like an Esper version.
Yeah, yeah, because don't
Yeah, I
forget,
don't know.
we have reanimate in this set now too, so
Yeah. Hmm.
could be something to it.
Yeah, where is that guy? Let's look at that guy real quick. Down here.
Yeah, he's right there.
Grave Researcher, two and a
Yeah,
black. At the beginning of your upkeep, surveil one. Then if there are three or more creature cards in your graveyard, it becomes prepared. So what are we trying to reanimate with this guy? I guess same thing.
yeah, I guess.
Oculus, but you could also have something a little bit more powerful.
Yeah,
Maybe
any.
one of these Eye,
Yeah,
Emeratai, whatever. I always put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. It's that
like
Midwest
we
speak in
don't
me.
we don't really have anything like a couple standards ago, right? Like Atali or Traxa, nothing that powerful that you want to bring back anymore.
There's got to be something.
We still have that dinosaur,
Which one is that?
the 6 mana dinosaur that discovers 5, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think he's still around. That was from Ixalan, right?
Yeah, just yeah, some stuff to think
Standard
about.
standard's too big.
Yeah.
All right, we'll jump into your number one then.
Yeah, I had Flow State. So Flow State is a blue and one sorcery. Look at the top three cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. If there is an instant card and a sorcery card in your graveyard, instead put two of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So 2 mana, look at three, draw two of them. This is kind of like how they were pushing stock up. I think they're pushing it here. Like so 2 mana, draw two, look at three, right? Versus 3 mana, look at five, take two What do you think, Pete? Like, obviously, the floor on this is a sorcery speed anticipate. Um,
Right, but I think it's really easy to have an instant and a sorcery in your graveyard, right? But they were talking about this card being better than expressive iteration, people in legacy and stuff, right? And then
yeah,
who who posted? It was Max Kamenowski. He posted when this got uh spoiled. He's like, "Hey, my guy, my boys, I've been putting all three of those cards in my hand for a year
right.
with accumulate wisdom."
Oh,
But
trying to say like accumulate wisdom is better
right, but that accumulate wisdom,
requires some setup.
yes. So I think
Yeah.
this card is really good. I actually have it as a card I think is going to show up in modern, right? So
Yeah, I would be surprised if this doesn't see some play. But we'll see. We'll just kind of have to see how it pans out. I think it's
well,
really good.
definitely it's going to go in spell elementals.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So
We'll see. We'll see. I'm curious to see how it goes. Max is right. If you're playing lessons, if you're playing the lessons archetype, obviously accumulate wisdom is better. But
right, but that
in
takes
any
seven.
other deck that right, in any other deck that plays blue, are you playing
This
instants? Okay, this card's crazy.
yeah
So,
yeah this card's better in a non-lesson show. 100%.
yeah. And then people can still like we've said, if people interact with your graveyard, I guess in lessons specifically, if they're interacting with your graveyard in some way, it's going to be hard for you to get and accumulate wisdom off. And I guess the same could be said of flow state, right? But I don't know. I
Yeah,
think it's good.
things better than expressive.
Probably it's at least close. It's at least close.
No, I think it's better.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because sometimes expressive has the problem where, with blue and red, you're typically trying to play at instant speed, like with those color pairs. And so with expressive, you're like forcing yourself to have to commit some mana to get value out of the next card in the mid game. Like you have to expressive into two spells to make it worth it because you usually don't need the additional land. So you cast expressive iteration, and you're kind of are always wanting to just like put a land into play and put the best card into your hand. But this is like if I don't need mana, I just put the two best cards into my hand, or put the two non-land cards into my hand. Kind of based on how the math works. So we'll see. We'll see if this card is good enough to replace stock up or what.
Yeah, because I think modern prowess plays expressive, right? I would definitely replace that with this,
Yeah.
right?
What are you?
The the
What's?
oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Finish your thought.
Oh, I was saying it helps conceal the information, right? 'Cause if I cast expressive, I put a card in my hand and then I exile mutagenic growth or something, right? And then they
Yeah.
know I'm casting that this turn,
Right.
influence
Right.
their decisions. This does the same thing, except for it conceals the information, puts them both in my hand. I like it. All right, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's again. I think it's better than expressive iteration in a more general sense because you don't have to be playing blue and red to cast it. So
Correct.
it opens it up to more decks, and yeah, it has a lower floor, obviously, because there might be a game where on turn 3 you don't have an instant end sorcery in your graveyard. An expressive iteration can get you your land drop and then still put a valuable card into your hand, where this card can't do that in that situation where you don't have an instant sorcery in your graveyard already. So I don't know. It's a lot to think about with it, but I think it's good. So what was your number one?
My number one is decorum dissertation. 3 and 2 black, sorcery lesson. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. And it has Paradigm, which is then exile this spell. After you first resolve a spell with this name, you may cast a copy of it from exile without paying its mana cost at the beginning of each of your first main phases. Now I know this costs 5, which is pretty steep, but I really like this in like a in Demir Excruciator specifically. I'm going to be testing it. Um, right? Play this, I Excruciator them, untap, I cast this targeting them, cast Insatiable Avarice. It's the game, right?
Yeah.
And in the meantime, it's letting me draw 2 extra cards a turn to get to,
Yeah,
because it's pretty much.
when you look at these paradigm cards, you have to remember that you're going to be able to cast them for free at each of your next upkeeps. And I think that that's
Main
or
phase.
yeah, main phase.
First spell you cast.
Each of your next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a planeswalker, right? So
Yeah.
because it's a May, you don't have to cast a spell. It's a May. If you're getting low on life or whatever. And I agree. I think this is the best of the paradigms. And we were kind of talking before. I think that Germination Practicum is maybe the next best one, just because of the cost associated with the others at 7, and Echo Casting Symposium being in blue and making a copy of a token creature. I don't know. I don't think that one is always necessarily going to target a creature of relevance. I mean, there may be something there, but in terms of like the standard metagame, I don't see it. So I think we should talk about the rest of these cycles, these other mythic cycles
Okay.
up here. So because we didn't talk about the Emeritus, the Emeriti. So Emeriti of Truth is 1 and 2 white, 3/3.
The
What?
Emerituses.
The Emerituses. Yeah. 3/3. When this creature enters, target player creates a 1/1 white and black inkling creature token with flying. Then if an opponent controls more creatures than you, this creature becomes prepared. And it has Swords to Plowshares, which is exile target creature. Its controller gains life equal to its power for 1 white instant. Note that it says target player creates a 1/1 white and black inkling creature token with flying. So if your opponent has 3 creatures and you cast this, you can still target yourself and it becomes prepared. So this card is nice.
Yeah. This card's really nice.
In my opinion, this is one of the better ones, but
Yeah, 3
just because of
mana.
its cost. Yeah, 3 mana, 3/3.
Yeah.
Like, because at its floor, it's 3 mana, 3/3, make a 1/1 flyer. Or 4
Yeah,
mana,
sword.
3/3, swords your opponent's creature, give them a 1/1. Give their, swords their best creature. So, I don't know, some things to think about. And then,
Swords is a good card, right? So,
yeah.
and now it's in standard. It's pretty crazy.
And then Emeritus of Ideation, 3 and 2 blue, 5/5 flyer, ward 2. It enters prepared, and its spell is Ancestral Recall, which is 1 blue for an instant, draw 3 cards. And then you can re-prepare it by whenever it attacks, you may exile 8 cards from your graveyard. If you do, it becomes prepared again. So I see this as like a late game finisher for a blue-based control deck. And potentially putting this into like some sort of scam combo type deck, because you can, scam it and then cast Ancestral Recall again. And it is just a 5/5 flyer with Ward 2, which is very good, right? So
Right, it's the only one with protection, right?
yeah.
It's of course it's the flagship card of the set, so has to, right?
Yeah.
Ancestral
Emeritus of
Recall.
Woe, 3 and a black, 5/4. It enters prepared, and it has Demonic Tutor stapled to it. Pretty strong, right?
Yeah.
4 mana, 5/4 is good as it is. Vampire Warlock doesn't have the demon creature type, which I think could be very relevant in black, but it still has demonic tutor attached to it. So
Yeah, could see
very
this
good.
going in one of those Golgari decks we were talking about, right?
100% agree. Yeah,
I mean,
I think
you
this card is good.
play this on turn 3 with an elf out, right?
Yes,
Then you're detutoring on turn 4.
pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Pretty nuts. And then
So
the
the
fact
next,
that it gets re-prepared at the beginning of your end step. If two or more creatures die this turn, it becomes prepared again. Like that's so good.
yeah, and that's easy to do with black. So let me read this next one.
Yeah, you can read the next two Emeritus.
Emeritus of Conflict, 1 and a red for a 2/2 human wizard, first strike. Whenever you cast your third spell each turn, this creature becomes prepared, and its prepared spell is a lightning bolt.
Yeah,
You guys know what that is?
I think
I hope.
that the, I think because this creature doesn't enter prepared, it makes it not nearly as good. Because casting three spells in a turn, um, is a little challenging in like an aggro, even in an aggro deck, right? Like then again, once you do prepare it, you casting the lightning bolt counts as one of the spells. So
Yes.
I, to me, this is the worst one. Um, but I could be way off on that. So
That's what I was thinking on like face value looking at it, I thought the same thing, right?
yeah,
This comes down on turn 2. At best, it becomes prepared on turn 3. So the earliest I'm getting to cast lightning bolt is turn 4, right?
yeah,
I
and
don't,
right, yeah, I agree. It's it's and it's pretty fragile too as a 2/2. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I think in like the burn deck, there could be something nuts with this in like a pioneer format, but I don't know. We'll see.
yeah, maybe in prowess in modern with a bunch of free spells. Who knows?
Yeah.
So next we have the green one, Emeritus of Abundance. 2 and a green for a 3/4 elf druid with vigilance. It enters prepared. Whenever this creature attacks, if you control 8 or more lands, this creature becomes prepared, and its prepared spell is Regrowth, which is 1 and a green. Sorcery, return target card from your graveyard to your hand.
Yeah. So just I think this is also very good. Um, I kind of initially thought this was better than the blue one just because it has such a good body, 3/4 vigilance, and it's prepared, you can cast regrowth. But it's also a little bit conditional. Like I don't know. It's a little bit challenging to evaluate this, to be honest with you. Um, we'll just have to see. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I think a 3 mana 3/4 with vigilance. This just the stats alone are pretty decent. Regrowth is a really good card. I don't know how good it is without Time Walk in the format, right? It's really good in Vintage Cube with Time Walk, but
Yeah.
uh, what am I buying back in green in standard?
Yeah, maybe a critical creature in landfall because I think in landfall you would want to play a couple of these because you ramp pretty quickly with Badgermole Cub, hitting you target one of your sack lands or fetch lands, and then with um, Ice Till Explorer, right, ramping you. I think that this card gets online pretty quickly, and then if it's just a value engine, right? And maybe you don't need it, but uh, like casting this on turn two with an elf, I think it's got a sweet spot with its mana cost that it could see. Like you could easily play a couple of these in mono green landfall,
Yeah,
and it'd be very good. So, what do you think? One of the other things we wanted to talk about was like, what card do you think would have the most impact in standard and modern? Is it cool if we talk about that now?
Yeah, yeah. I think for standard, I think I went the easy route and I just picked Germination Practicum, right?
Yeah, why do you say that one?
Just because mono green's still dominating, and you cast this as early
Yeah.
as turn 3, so then you're putting 2/1/1 counters on every creature from turn 3 on. Seems pretty gross, right? I've heard people,
Yeah.
saying it's boring, but it's powerful and easy to pull off in that deck.
Yeah, it makes your elves good. It makes your bossing says better, right? You activate bossing say and all of a sudden I agree with you in that sense, but I guess I'm just not sure they have the slots necessarily. I think
Right.
we'll have to
But,
see.
turn 1 elf, turn 2 badger mole, another badger mole, turn 3 cast this. Everything
Yeah, kind of
grows.
ideal situation, but yeah, still very good.
Yeah. So that was what I picked there. Probably.
I I picked Lorehold the Historian. So that's a card we hadn't really talked about. So Lorehold the Historian is 3 red white, so 5 mana total. Legendary creature Elder Dragon, 5/5, flying in haste. Each instant and sorcery card in your hand has Miracle 2. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So basically, every instant or sorcery that you draw has Miracle of 2. And so, Jeskai Revelation, stock up a Wrath if you're in a bind. Uh, like you name it. Like we could go on with more than that. I think those are stock up Wrath and Jeskai Revelation jump out at me. And then the fact that this card enables you to get another potential miracle trigger on your opponent's upkeep is pretty powerful too.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
I
Yeah,
think
these
that
Elder
that's the most.
Dragons.
They're all very good, but I think Lorehold is. It kind of it feels like it slots right into the Jeskai Rev deck as like a 2 or 3 of, and you just that's your like that, and Jeskai Rev is your kill condition, and it's gonna do a lot of work for you. So
Yeah, I can see that definitely slotting right in. The other ones would be whole new archetypes. So I really like
so
the Silver Quill Elder Dragon.
I agree.
Do a white and a black for a 4/4 flying vigilance, and each instant and sorcery spell you cast has casualty 1, which is
What
nuts,
do you
right?
Yeah, I think it for sure. I just think it has a good body for 4 flying and vigilance, and casualty 1, just having to sack a 1 powered creature is so good, but I feel like you have to you're kind of priced into having to play some creatures that maybe are a little dinky. I don't know. I think it could be good though. Even just like a spot removal spell, like I sacrifice some silly token I made somehow cheaply, and then
Yeah,
you were talking about like infestation
Sage, yeah.
sage, right? And then you like just casting a shoot the sheriff and sacrificing infestation sage and getting a 1/1 and then being able to do it again. I think there could be something there. I just think mid range is going to be on the menu in a big way with this set, so we'll have to see. What do
Hell
you
yeah.
got? What do you got for modern? What do you think?
I wrote down Erode and Flow State.
Okay, we
I think
kind of
Flow
already talked
State,
about that.
yeah. I think Erode is pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe in Jeskai Blank, definitely some blue white Washington deck. I don't know if that's a
Yeah.
thing, but
I picked
nothing.
Practice Scrollsmith for modern. A little spice that I've been thinking about. So
Oh, where's that guy?
Practice Scrollsmith is a uh, 1 red, 1 white, and then hybrid red or white. So 3 mana total for a 3/2 with first strike. It's a creature dwarf cleric. When this creature enters, exile target non-creature, non-land card from your graveyard. Until the end of your next turn, you may cast that card. So there was a deck going around. It was janky, but it was like a 4-color value deck that was trying to get people with Eternal Witness, Ephemerate, and Orm's Chant. But you had to play Eternal Witness, and you were like priced into playing blue. So it wasn't like spectacular, I think. Whereas this card, you just play Jeskai, and you basically play Ephemerate and Orm's Chant, and you're trying to blink Riddlers and this. And I don't know, I think it could be, I think just the fact that it does what you want Eternal Witness to do, and having a 3/2 first strike body, it could be terrible, but I don't know. I like the deck, so I think I want it to be good, and I think that removing green from the deck potentially makes it good enough. And then you play Teferis, you play Wrath of the Skies, you play Flage, you play Solitudes, you play Quantum Riddlers, and then some interaction, and I think that this card is good to, it's
Yeah, I didn't even see that guy. It's too many
yeah, there's a
cards.
lot. There's a lot in the set going on, but we'll have to see. Brother, I got a jet. I got a
Okay.
work meeting coming up soon. I'm
All
sorry
right. Well,
we had to like rush through this. There's a lot going on. I think it's going to be fun.
yeah. We'll definitely have more to talk about once people start playing with the cards. So
Absolutely.
once we start ramping up standard testing,
Yes, sir.
we got to do that soon.
I know. I'm excited for when that kicks off, man. We'll talk about our schedules and set up our McDonald's playtest sessions.
Yo, I'm loving it.
Yeah, dude.
Can we get it? Can we get a? Can we get a sponsorship, dude?
I don't know. I don't know. Well, hey, man. It's always a pleasure. Follow us. YouTube, Spotify, Blue Sky, X.
Yep. My guys,
And
Magic Podcast everywhere. All right, my guys. See y'all next week.
all right, my guys. See ya. Peace.